Hello, my name is Tammy, and I'm so glad you're here. Today, we'll be talking about building community through circles using social emotional learning conversation starters. In order to create a safe and comfortable learning environment for our students, we need to give them opportunities to connect with each other in meaningful ways. Circles are just an opportunity to do that. So, how does it work? Students literally show up and sit in a circle in your classroom to greet each other, share ideas, celebrate relationships, solve problems, and engage in community building activities. Here are some things that you'll need to run a community circle. You'll need a talking piece, and a talking piece is simply something a student can hold in their hands while they're speaking and pass to the next student as a signal so that the next student can share what their thoughts are. You will also want some agreements. Agreements are just things that help us understand how we want to treat each other in circle and during class. You'll also need beginning and closing circle prompts called conversation starters. And one thing we've added is the family community connection starters as well. So students can not only have conversations in the classroom, but take this home to the adults that they live with and continue the conversations about what happened in class. So here are the elements of a circle. We want to start with a greeting and welcome students into the circle. We also want to give opportunity for sharing and responding using the daily prompts and the talking piece. We want to make sure we reinforce students by thanking them for their responses. And we want to close the circle by making a connection to the reading and transition back into learning. The first circle, we really need to establish classroom agreements. And the reason those classroom agreements are so important is that they reinforce something called psychological safety, which is the belief that one will not be punished or humiliated for speaking up with ideas, questions, concerns, or even making mistakes. So here are some examples of how we can build psychological safety using agreements. Sometimes teachers simply read these directly to the students and let them listen. Other times teachers will read and then the students will respond with a choral response. After sharing those agreements, it's always good to ask the class if there's anything that we left off to help each person feel like they belong and they're valued. Responses may sound like, when I'm talking and others are listening, I feel respected, or it's important to validate each other's perspective, even if it's different from my own. So as you go through the next 6 weeks with your students and building communities, you'll definitely want to start your day with the conversation starter and end with the closing conversation, and making sure that you are sending home those family and community connections so those conversations can continue outside the walls of our classroom. And at the end of the program, we hope that students will be able to identify their emotions, connect with their peers, and belong to community. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure that you check out the resources that are provided.